Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for May 2009. And in May, I think you're going to be feeling more speculative, competitive and enterprising. But on the other hand, and there's always the other hand, there's some joint commitments or maybe emotional commitments. They can be moral obligations that you have to meet. And the focus will be on resources that you share or an agreement which you have with another person or other people. And possibly a contract or an agreement may need updating or rescheduling, and that's most likely to be happening from the 7th. So this is a time of teamwork, of potential in relationships. For those of you on the market for a new relationship, then it's very much on the cards this month. And also children are likely to be a focus for many of you as well, or animals. And those of you working on a project, there you could be thinking about making changes, tweaking things, particularly to the way it's set up. The financial side will be on your mind, and this can bring success if you're realistic and keep your feet firmly on the ground and don't, take a risk, because there is a chance this month that you would, you want to throw everything over and just put your eggs in one basket and take this risk. Or it can be that somebody around you is feeling like that, or indeed it can be that somebody makes you an offer that seems too good to be true, and hey, guess what, it turns out to be too good to be true. So there is that kind of tricky energy around this month as well, but that's from mid-month that comes in. It'll be necessary for you to collaborate with others, so you'll be very much in your element, Libra, and it'll be necessary as well for you to listen to where they're coming from, take on board what they're saying, how they're feeling. It's going to be a lot about feelings as well this month too. And your people skills are probably going to be pretty fully stretched, but you're going to have to put your own point of view. Don't forget to do that, because there is always a danger that you get yourselves tied up in knots because you've bent over backwards for somebody else, and there could be a difference of opinion or two going on this month as you get things hammered out and sorted out. It is a brilliant period though for you to tap into the more harmonious side of people's natures and relationships. A great time for buying and selling, by the way. Any kind of negotiation or diplomacy going on, brilliant for that. So because maybe passions can come up to the surface this month, then you seem to be naturally skilled in this area anyway, Libra. You were born like it. So as I say, you're going to be in your element, but don't play too much the piggy in the middle and lose yourself in the process. And so Venus is there. That's your ruling planet to enrich and smooth the way in all relationships, not just business ones or family ones or social ones or romantic ones, but all relationships. So I mean, it's your relationship to yourself, the relationship to nature, the world around you, and so on and so forth. Between the 1st and the 5th, well, somebody could really push your buttons there, and there could be a bit of a power struggle going on. Maybe you think that somebody's behaving in an underhand or controlling way, or maybe they think that about you. But as I say, that passes. Matters financial, yes, that'll be on your mind. Maybe property matters, or just what you have around. Maybe you'll be going down the dump. There is a feeling of a changing of gears going on this month as well, and dropping some baggage, maybe literally material objects, but there can also be some of you moving from one place to another or considering it. It can also be emotional baggage and so on. Maybe one of your children isn't thinking straight. Maybe one of your children is sort of off with the fairies. Maybe you think that, or if there's not children around, then it could be a love relationship, and that energy works both ways. So they could have that sort of opinion and view of you, or indeed you could have that opinion that something is castles in the air. It's not concrete. It's nice, it might be fun, it might be enjoyable, but there's something that you can't quite pin down. So somebody might not be thinking straight this month and maybe acting up a bit. But if it's children, or if it's something, or somebody around that you can see through and understand what's going on, then your advice will be invaluable. But definitely stronger boundaries are needed with this energy around, firmer guidelines, and if it's children, then of course they can blossom underneath that sort of firmer hand, which is balancing. It's always about balance. Everything is about balance. Now, when Mercury goes backwards from the 7th, then you're going to have the chance maybe to think through a financial arrangement, or things that you share jointly with others. Maybe, as I said earlier, moral obligations there. And definitely time to get sorted then on those sorts of levels, materially and emotionally, putting your cards on the table. And then some of you are going to be more aware of old patterns too, I think, this month. These are like from childhood, maybe, not only in yourself, but in others around you. And perhaps you'll be able to come into an understanding of how to avoid falling down the same old manhole that you always have done before, or that they always have before, when your opinions differ in that way. So remember, overall, Libra, this is a year for you to be tying up loose ends from the past, ditching the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, and preparing for this new cycle of growth, which is going to begin at the start of November 2009. Well, that's it for May. If you know your rising sign, have a listen to that too.